Okay. Good evening, everybody. Today is Tuesday, April 19th, 7 o'clock. We're going to start a regular meeting. We'll stand up, do the pledge of allegiance, get the meeting started. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. At the moment, honor a moment of silence to honor the military, firefighters, road workers, and sheriff's deputies as they serve our community here and abroad. Thank you. Ms. Edwards, can we have a roll call, please?
Trustee McLaughlin.
Present.
Trustee McGuire. Trustee Bass. Present.
Okay, so the first thing on the agenda is approval and review of prior meeting minutes. We have none to do this time, sorry about that. We'll do 2 sets next time. So next, number 5 is the physical officer's report. Tracy, the floor is yours.
So, on the table, I left you guys a summary of our monthly, so far we paid this month, bills and the balances for the citizens that was out on the table. If you didn't get a copy, I can make you a copy. I think I made enough, maybe. Also, the trustees, you have the appropriations so that when you're able, current, it's up to date, actually, finally. I mean, able to keep it up to date. So you'll be able to, get any bills, you're able to see where we're at. Let's look real quick at, the appropriations. Oh, shoot. If you look at the, I try to tell you guys each time, but the last time says year-to-date percentage expenditures. If you go down there, we're like this is like April, so we're like at least a third of the year, fourth of the year, so most of these should be around. It doesn't matter, just look at the column, percentage expenditures, the column, if you go down there, they should be around 25%. But if you see some of them are at 50, it depends on what it is. We should be around 25%, give or take a few. If you go down that column.
IT support for the general fund. See, on 85.
Yeah, well, that's because we didn't put enough money in there, but I'm just saying, that's what, that gives you an indication of where our money is gonna be come middle of the year, towards the end of the year, we're gonna run out of money. So you may have to start looking at those to try to find some money to possibly, cover for that. So
They only have $520 appropriated to it?
Yeah, which one is this one again?
I'm still back on the general fund, IT support.
We did more than that.
Oh, okay, let me look, what's the line number? That's 360, 3002?
Yes.
302, 3002.
Okay, so it says final year-to-date expenditures. And that's what it looks like. We only had 521 final appropriation.
True, goodness, we put more than that in there.
Yeah, we put more than that. I remember that because at the beginning of the
Oh,
year.
this was, some of this probably was used in the beginning with Buckeye and everything.
Right, but it wasn't that much money. We put quite a bit in there because I remember we were transitioning from one IT to another.
Let's fix it, well, we're talking about appropriations at 85%, I mean, it's nothing to lose sleep over, we'll get it fixed.
$521.
So we need to pull up the final budget.
Would it be set, would it be split
Oh,
within the?
you're looking at the wrong one, look at 319. 319, line item 12319. Wait a minute, am I looking at the wrong one? Are you looking at 120 or 110?
Shouldn't that have been split
120.
between, the three? Roads, fire?
They all have a line item.
Right,
So
so
look,
the one you're looking at, like, is not gonna show the full amount because
Yeah,
it was
but-
split three ways.
no, but look at 12319, professional
What
technical.
page you on to?
Same way, so there's two IT computers, the two IT supports on the same page there.
Right.
See,
And so there's $10,000.
that's with the $10,000. We can move that money real easy, we can fix it real easy.
Yeah, I know it.
See it?
That's fine, I know I
Yeah.
put that money somewhere.
Whoops, sorry about that.
Haven't used any of that one at all. But that's the column you guys need to look, pay attention to, mostly on that line. I mean, to see where you're at, based on what time of the year it is, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, around 25% about right now.
Okay.
And it, again, it depends on what it is, because like, for Bureau Workers' Comp,
We
you
paid
would
that,
pay the
'cause-
whole year.
yes, I see, that's what I was saying, 100%, it's workers'
Yeah.
comp, we paid that, yeah.
That's all I have, other than working and try to keep this up to date for you guys so you can use it. And it all depends on if we get the bills to me on time. And I'm still holding some because mostly fire, there's some fire bills that I haven't gotten responses back.
So for the telephone right here, it says we're at 100%.
Okay, which, you at the
First
general
page,
fund?
page one.
I mean, that's the same situation, but there's another one in there someplace.
341, 000.
Okay. Telephone, we don't have for this, for 100 general fund, we don't have a telephone bill for sure. So I'm not sure what, I have to look to see what that money was used for. Cause we get that, we take most of the money out of the, like, the cable, internet bill for time on cable. And then all our other utilities come out of the, line item for the lease for the building. So the only thing we actually pay is the cable and the IT for the general fund. But I have to go in and look in the detail to see what that particular charge is for, if you need me to. Unless you have any other questions, that's all I have.
I'd like to make a motion to accept the physical officer's report, pay the bills and warrants.
Second.
Just one more comment. Did you sign, if you haven't signed those bills in the
Yes.
sheet in the,
Okay.
okay.
You have a vote, please, Tracy. That's Sheila. Tracy, I did it right first time, sorry.
Trustee McLaughlin,
Yes.
trustee Bat.
Yes.
Okay, so. Next thing on the agenda, old business, we discussed it in the work session, is the job postings, an issue we're having getting people hired, and the fact that it's taking so long to get the background checks. We really don't need to discuss it too much more. We discussed it, we have a resolution we're gonna put on the, when we get to the resolutions to take care of that. Any comments or questions on that?
Yes. All right, does any, do you guys know anything about, what's the zoning, position? Has anybody followed up on that? I know that's trustee McGuire, she was supposed to put it on, Gov Jobs. So I'm not sure where we're at with that. I don't have any communication. All right. I'll try him again and see if he's.
So you said he hasn't responded back, what you think? So, I have a comment on that. We have people that are wanting to get permits and stuff. What's happening with that kind of thing? Do you even know what that, because people are wanting to do permits. I got one, he just, Trustee McGuire just brought me a check that said, this for a swimming pool permit. I said, well, did you fill out the paperwork to get the permit to him? He didn't know what to fill out, I'm assuming that kind of stuff's not getting done.
Well, I just had somebody today call me about, yes, on Derby. Did you get it? Oh, you seen it? The
Yes,
email I
yes.
sent Mr. McGuire, Trustee McGuire. And he said he's tried to call him several times. In addition, I've had several other residents call and say, they need, somebody to call them about some zoning issues and the calls are not getting
So-
returned.
I guess my first response to that is that we have got to get this taken care of, you know, I mean. So there's only so many hours a day, I did print out 120, 130 pages of the codes. I did print that out. So I guess we need to start, I mean, since the trustee's not gonna do anything about it, we don't have a person to that, we've got to get these residents, if they wanna do something, somebody wants to, you know, I wanna build a barn, you wanna build a barn, it's, I know we had a question about a person putting a propane tank, and a permit for that. So,
There's some emails
and
also.
I'm hearing the same things, that residents are wanting to do things in our lovely township, and we've got to make it happen, one way or the other, so let me take some time, hopefully we'll get a rainy day here, and I can, that's why I do paperwork, so I can sit down and read that 120-some pages.
We'll,
You can print it off the internet?
Right.
Website?
It's a lot.
Website.
Yeah.
Okay, so any other old business you want to discuss? I know we have new faces in here, I just want to make another comment. If you picked up an agenda, there's enough of them. There's no comment in here anymore, comments from residents, we don't have that on here anymore. So as we're discussing things, we're talking about things, or whatever, think of you, Dave, back when you were in school, just raise your hand, and give your name for the record, who's saying what,
Yeah.
we want to hear from you. So if you want to give input on what we're saying, if you have a question about what we're saying, we don't wait till the end of the meeting and give you 3 minutes anymore. You just speak during the meeting as you want to speak, so just let
And make sure you give your address.
you gotta give your name and address for the record, that's, the regulators make us do that. So anyway, that's all.
The last thing, oh no, that's the business, go ahead.
So that's all we have under old business. Anything else under old business people want to discuss?
You said new business?
No, new business, yes,
Okay.
good.
Yes, I interviewed for the cleaning of our building.
Yes,
And I just, while we were sitting here, just got the quote, so I haven't really had enough time to really sit down, but I want you to know that we're looking at, somebody to come in to do this, our rooms, to get that taken care of. I'll also be, interviewing for the administrator's position on Friday. And, I'll keep you up to date on that.
I want to back up about the cleaning. Now, this is, I'm not trying to be negative or anything, I'm just, what happened before, I thought that when we first moved into this building, that the landlord, no, wait a minute, that was landlord through the inmates, the inmate program, landlord did do it through the inmates, but the inmate program, because of COVID, has been stopped. So correct, we don't have any, sorry, oops.
That was my thing.
Yeah, sorry about that.
That's okay.
Next thing on the new business is we have, I think we want to add another meeting through the month, guys. Hopefully we'll get the meeting shorter, but we find that we need an extra meeting. And whether you want to show up or not, that's up to you, but we're probably gonna have one and do everything legal, post it. And we're thinking about the Thursday in between the 2 Tuesdays. So we have a meeting on the first Tuesday, this is the third Tuesday of the month. And we're thinking about sticking another meeting in between those 2 weeks on the Thursday. So, and we'll post it. And if we get to the point where we don't need it, it'll be on the website, and it's canceled. But anyway, I'd like to make a motion to add an extra meeting every month on the second Thursday of the month.
Second Thursday, okay. What else? I'm thinking Tuesday,
Second Thursday,
the second Thursday,
yeah,
okay.
is that okay?
Yeah, that's fine. I don't know why I was thinking Tuesday, but okay, that's fine. The second Thursday at,
Same time, same place,
okay, 7 o'clock.
yes.
I second.
You second.
Mhm.
Yays and nays. Everybody's for it, yay.
Yeah.
Everybody's against it, nays. Motion carries. So we will start, we'll post it on our website. Of course, that we've already passed the second Thursday of this month, so that'll start in next month.
May 12th,
May.
May 12th.
Yes. Okay. So, any more new business? Anybody wants to discuss anything else we want to bring out on new business?
I do want to add for the May 12th meeting that we compiled a list of things we want to use the ARP fund for. So we can come together and talk about how and what we want to spend those funds on. Because we need to start spending the money.
That, and also, that list also will go to Michael Culver, County Administrator.
So how do we, Ms. Fiscal Officer, how do we go about hiring, using this legal service that the state's using? So we do this, because you've talked about documentation and documentation, because this is federal money, not state money, and it's a little more critical that we do things correctly. So how do we get them,
This is
do
involved.
do I need a W-9? Do I need a W-9 from them? What do I need? Do I need a,
They got a contract, they have a contract we had to do with them?
I wasn't asking you that. Do you know any of that?
No, because I didn't know, I don't know what the group is, I didn't know, I know you have mentioned it several times,
Yeah,
but I've never involved in the group. I thought there was some resolution or something.
they do, yes.
You
I'll reach
do,
out to
if we
them.
gotta pay them, I'm gonna need a W-9, yes.
Okay, I'll reach out to them and start the ball rolling. Okay. Okay,
And they'll give us a outline of what we can spend the money on, is that right?
Well, I guess we
we
would.
already have that.
We would already give them a list of what we have and they would tell us if that's.
Well, we did that way too, yeah. That'd be a good idea, okay? Do that.
Do what?
Give them our list and see what's.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine, that's
And this
fine.
is the other, this is the person I'm saying, we need to also send a copy of our list.
Is this Mr. Colbert's?
That's his assistant.
Yeah,
Chris?
I had that this morning.
Oh, okay.
Thank you. I had a conversation with her and one of the county commissioners' assistant today. Kind of gave some really good information and kind of directed us to how we can go about getting some more concerns addressed. So, we're working on
Any other new business? So the next thing on the agenda is resolutions for
it.
consideration.
Oh, I'm sorry, new business. I just wanted to bring up the parks again. And I
Oh,
put,
Okay.
yeah, I just wanted to bring up the parks because Teresa and I, we rode around the township and checked out the parks. And did I send you the pictures of the park?
No,
The shelters, there are big holes in the shelter, both shelters at both parks. And the picnic tables were broke down. There were no basketball hoops or rims, everything's gone. And so there's nothing that kids could use in the park. So I went and I did some pricing of backboards and also looked at if we could refurbish the backboards that's up there and just buy the rims. So I'm still waiting on somebody to get back with me about potentially repurposing the backboards and just buying the rims for the basketball court. But these kids were so excited, they literally started applauding. And these are kids, and so that just tells you how.
You ain't the kids in the park.
Yeah, that's
In the
how.
park, and they told you this.
Yeah, they were actually outside and we called them over to ask them some questions. And then they were like, really
You gotta
excited.
have a place for kids to play.
Yeah.
Keep them out of trouble. You got to.
Yeah, here they go.
Actually, I think.
Oh, no, that's the wrong people.
I know that picture, I was there.
Actually, that's the other.
That's the wrong people, sorry about that. That's funny. So, really nice young man,
Yeah,
very
okay.
mannerable, came over and talked to us about, you know, they really wish we got something out there for them to play with and a place for them to go play, and so they were
Wow.
very happy to hear.
You will find me turning that down. That's
So, but
dollars
I
well
do
spent.
have a
That's-
question.
That's our taxpayers' dollars well spent. But that's when it's already there?
Yeah, that's what most of them look like. And so this right here, some of these are, I think it comes with the actual rim. So we might could just take that off and put up another one, but this is the part they would have to, yeah, yes, so there's
The
nothing.
light at Strand Park is
Yes,
on the shelter, we don't understand why it's on.
Say again?
The Strand Park, shelter, Richardson Park.
Yeah.
The lights on
yeah,
all day long.
and we're not sure where the light's coming from.
I'm not sure where it's coming from, our
I
water.
don't like that, because you know that is, I have to look at it. Is there a number on the pole?
It's on the building, the light that's on is on the building.
Yeah.
Itself, it's not on the
Do
pole.
we pay
See,
electric bill there?
look, that light's on, but you can get inside of the shelter, you see the electrical box, you can tell, look like somebody pulled everything out of it, so I don't know how that light is lit.
Okay, that's odd.
Yeah, so,
But there's a big hole in the wall, and a hole in the wall strand, and there's a hole in the roof.
there's a hole,
That's fixable.
yeah, so,
A hole in the roof.
and it'd be something really nice because, people, if they wanted to rent it for, say, maybe their family reunion, or, you know, just so the kids would have somewhere to go.
I agree.
Mhm.
I mean, it has a nice playground over, and it has swing set, you didn't know it was over there, I didn't know it was over there,
Right.
yeah.
And I also rode around and looked at some, nuisance houses. I didn't go past the house on Germantown, but I did go past a house on, Dayton Liberty, like right across from, Old Road Extension, right there.
Yes.
And then the house on the corner of Derby and Union. We have to do
That's the one,
something.
when you're going towards Union
That's-
Road, that's the one on the
Okay,
left.
that was, those last two are not, I don't think those are paying, it's like living.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah, it looks like a junkyard.
it does. Yeah. The one on Union, there's one on Union that bad way. Now, the one that you spoke of, you didn't go to, might have a basement in it, it's all opened up. It needs a front door, it has no front door, it's
Yeah.
missing windows, and,
That's the one on Germantown?
yeah.
Yeah.
May I say something also while you're speaking on that matter? Oh, I'm sorry. go ahead.
Yes, take your name and your address first.
Okay, my name is,
Marla Wasman, 171 South Lansdowne Avenue. You're talking about nuisance houses? 2 doors from where I live, there's a house that's been burned. It has sat like that for the last 8 years. And some of our people in the community have now took and boarded up the garage and is living in it. A house next to me has no water, no electric, and they have totes of human feces sitting inside of the house. The other day, beside of my house, when I was getting ready to have a Easter egg hunt, there was a rat dead on my foundation where I was getting ready to hide Easter eggs. You go over to the next street, well, the house behind it too is an abandoned home that has people off the street living in it. You go 4 doors down on the opposite side, there's an abandoned home that people off the street now live in that have no electric, no water, feces. You go over on the next street and there is a junkyard, as I would call it. And these people have multiple trailers sitting there that are hooked up to nothing to dispose of their human feces. So there's a little creek that runs down through there, and that's where it's going, is in this creek that children could end up playing in.
Street's that on?
That's Davenport,
That's 42 then.
42 Davenport.
Yeah.
Oh,
Little Colorado test.
this is just
Little Colorado test.
unbelievable.
Okay,
And
so,
I've lived down there for 60-some years. This neighborhood was not like this before, and this is horrific. And that's the reason I'm sitting here. I don't know what to do. Easter Day, we was getting ready to have the kids hunt eggs. A female went down the street at 45 miles an hour. My nephew hollered at her. She came back up with her boyfriend and proceeded to show his gun and to argue with us, then went back down the street and shot his gun, emptied his clip. This is the type of stuff we're dealing with. My nephew did. He hollered at her and told her she needed this. He used a couple words there, but slow down. She didn't as much as tap her brake to slow down. By the time the police got there, there was no one home, of course. We do have children down in there, and there are some of us that have been there for the long haul that still care, but when you keep getting pushed up against, I mean, really? You come to my house, and I could walk you the street and show you the houses that I'm speaking of. And you could look it up of when the houses burnt and when they become abandoned and so forth, and how long that it's been left like that. On my street alone, which is South Lansdowne, there's 3 apartments at the beginning that have been abandoned for at least 10 years. Then you go down 3 houses, there's a house that's been abandoned for at least 7. Then you come on down, there's another home that's been abandoned for, I don't know how long, somebody's done a little bit of work on it recently. Then you come, you've been in the township long enough, you remember old Fireman Joe? His home is disgusting. The doors and the windows are gone, and the people that's run in and out of it. And like I say, I could just take you right down the street, and this is just, it's getting to be.
There's more vacant than there is living. And it's to the point where nobody wants to be around there. I mean,
exactly, and that's a problem you get into when you get that many vacants, that's a problem. So we've got to change policy, we've got to get in there, there's a process you have to go through. You can't just go board somebody's house up. Number one, the legalities of it, who's gonna pay us for the plywood and doing it, that's the minor aspect of it, but, somebody owns that home. So-
The one home I'm speaking of, the bank owns it.
Okay, so there's a process you go through, so you contact, And there again, we lack a little bit of leadership in the township, but zoning and code enforcement, they work together, and we find out who owns that home. There's a legal process you go through, you give them time to do that themselves, and it's obvious they're not gonna do it, but we have to go through that process. Okay, so they do that process, and then we will board it up. At least in getting the homes secured and boarded up, we'll keep the vagrants out of it. And maybe the first, I know you're shaking your head, no, maybe the first time or something, they're gonna unboard it, we'll board it up again. We've got to get the attitude in this township turned around, and we will not give up. Let me tell you, we will not give up, we will try this. So, I'm glad you came, I'm glad you spoke your mind. Somebody else had their hand up, yes.
Yes. Hi, my name is Terry Whitlow, and I live at the property at 2449 South Junior Road. And sad to say, I'm kind of in a predicament, what they were saying about the homes. I have a home there, and it has been totally destroyed. I had it fixed up last year, and fixed up very well, and then I trusted some contractors and some people, because I had a lot of issues in the city, to renovate my home and make it the way it should be, and instead they did the opposite. So I had them there that summer, this last summer, and had all winter to get it together. And step by step, they were saying they was going to get it together. They were doing good at one while, and then all of a sudden, when I came back in town, it was just a disaster. And then after that, around winter time, I told them they were gonna live in it. I said, you cannot live in this house, it's not appropriate. So, in the summertime, they proceeded to try to get it together. They didn't get it together like they said they would. So I had to end up paying a lot of money. I had to evict them. So right now, my house looks like a disaster. But I do have some people trying to help me right now, trying to get together. But what I'm crying out, if you all can help me to get the house demolished. It's not safe. Safety, people still come in and out, do what they want to do. And it's a hazardous. So I was just crying out for help, if I can get some assistance on seeing if you all could possibly talk and see if I can get my house demolished.
So let me just ask you, do you live in that house?
Do not